Hey, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. I was calling this Wednesday Night Live. Now it's going to be live from Alaska or something else until I come up with a better term. But welcome everybody to the live stream. It's good to see you all again. I know we had a couple of weeks off because it was Christmas and New Year's. I think that was it, but it's really good to be live again and hang out with you all tonight. And we're celebrating because 10,000 subscribers happened. It's amazing. It's so cool. But I really appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to say hi to people in the chat. I know Night Train's here, Jack H, Micro Ghost, Drone Made Studios, Doug, Ellie Mae, Harrison Family Blogs. Hey man, how you doing? Good to see you all. I'm glad you're all here. It's good. And you got to let me know. I upgraded from the A6400. I upgraded to an A6600 because I was running into the problem of battery life a lot, and then there's a couple of other reasons. So I'm shooting this. This is being done on the A6600, which has face and eye detection with the HDMI out in 4K. So you got to let me know if it looks sharper than normal. Is it gorgeous and beautiful and all that sort of stuff? Because I'm very curious to find out. But really good. I'm really glad you're all here. It has been the longest stretch of below zero weather here in Anchorage, Alaska that we've had in 11 years, which is incredibly frustrating when I'm trying to go out and film a review of this amazing drone and it's well below zero. So eventually I had to just say, screw it. I'm gonna go fly this thing and hope that everything works out. And if you watch the last video I did on the review of the Skydio, not the comparison between the Skydio and the Mavic, but the review of the Skydio that I filmed over a couple of weeks. And when I did those temperature shots of the temperature from my car, like that was live, or it was filmed right as I pulled into wherever I was going. So I started the first time I went and flew it out below what Skydio recommends was at 8 degrees. It was 5 or 8. It was somewhere in there. And then the next time I went and flew it where the Glacier Ice Cave, that was minus 10-ish where I was. It was cold. It was really, really cold. And I was bundled up, hiked 3 miles to do that thing. It's totally worth it, totally awesome, but dear Lord, it was so cold. The drone did well. It didn't like it, and I had to keep the batteries like next to my innermost layer to keep them warm enough, because obviously it's really cold. But I could tell a few times it like the gimbal was having a little bit harder time in the cold temperatures, or if you saw some of the kind of pop jerks in the footage, that was because it was just cold. It was so cold. Anyway, but 10K. So in the next video, or well, might be two videos, but I'm gonna try and do the next video. Maybe I'll just do a special video. I'm gonna give this away. This is a Moza Aircross 2. It's barely been used. I did a review of it on my channel, and it is actually a very good gimbal. It's different than other gimbals in how you use it, but not by much. And Moza sent this to me for review, which was very nice of them. And they sent me the whole package, and there's a few things I really like about this gimbal. One is the fact that you can control almost everything right on the screen, which is fantastic. But it has the focus wheel, and it has a bunch of other stuff, and it will carry actually a surprising amount of weight, provided you get it balanced correctly. So anyway, this is going to be what I'm giving away here, which I'll do an actual giveaway video here later this week or next week. So you'll have a chance to win a Moza Aircross 2, which if you need a gimbal, is a good gimbal. It's a good one to start out with. So let's see. Jack Tech says you aren't kidding about the battery life on the A6400 is terrible. Yeah, it's better than the A6000, A6500. Those things were terrible. And whatever they did with the A6400 improved it quite a bit, but it's still not great. And especially when I'm out in the cold, like brutal cold. And I didn't use this very often, but occasionally I did. The battery just couldn't handle it. So Mostly, this thing has been here in the studio, sitting here, and I've used it to shoot a few interviews because I love doing a dual camera. So I've had my A7 III and then this, sitting side by side. One is a tight shot, one's a wider shot. It makes editing interviews so much easier, and I plan to do a video about it soon. Anyway, so I'm going to sell this. It has comes with 2 different types of small rig mounts up here to move stuff off to the sides. And then I'm going to sell it with this 16 to 50 kit lens, which isn't bad. And then I have 2 extra RAV power batteries and the charger that's going to come with it. And I don't know, I might throw some other stuff in there too. Just, it's a great vlogging camera. Like the whole flip up screen is fantastic, and it works really, really well. It's just, I needed something that had more battery life, especially in the cold, because my A7 III is great, works fantastic, but I need to move into, I'm trying to pare down my gear, and so if I can just use one, like the A6600 would be great. And then having the same batteries for everything is really a big plus for me too. So let's see. Doug Arrow, thanks. I'm glad it looks Chris. Hey, Journeyman, glad you're here. Geeks Vana, glad you're here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Glenn, can't wait to own the Bluebird. Cheers, everyone. Assume you're talking about the Skydio 2. It is, yeah, it's, no, go ahead and ask questions now, Drone Made Studios. I don't have a lot on the docket tonight. I was gonna, oh shoot, I gotta grab something. I'm gonna do a accessories video for the Skydio because there's a couple of things that really make it nice. I know I said this in the video, like the dual battery charger is great. This thing is freaking awesome. I love flying the drone with this, and I hope they add a couple of functionality things to this. It would be amazing to be able to trigger some of the one-shots like a Droney or the Orbit with the beacon would be awesome. But I tried out kind of the rudimentary flying with this, like positioning the drone, not the magic wand thing, which is really cool too, but you can actually use it to fly, move the drone around and fly it a little bit, it works pretty well. And honestly, almost the entire review video, all of the footage of the Glacier Ice Cave, all of that was shot just using my phone. Well, there were 4 shots in there that were using the remote. But this thing, the dual battery charger is awesome. And this is why I love this drone, because if you travel a lot or you're out and about a lot where you don't have access to power, electricity, a plug-in power a lot, then you got to be able to recharge the drone, or you have to take a crap ton of batteries with you, which I generally do if I have to. But because this is chargeable over USB, if you have something like this, which is Anchor, what is this? It's the PowerCore Plus 2600. But if it has power delivery over USB-C, then you can charge your batteries over this, which is awesome. So in theory, this single power pack should give me four to 5 more battery charges, but maybe 6, which is awesome. So there's that. And then the other thing I've got, Freewell was really awesome. I'm going to do a review of these here, but then they sent me out their ND filters for it, which, it's probably really loud on the stream, but because of the way they've designed this, and I know some people don't like it, the compass and the telemetry situation and stuff, the telemetry fine, but because it uses so many magnets, the fact that you can just magnetically attach an ND filter and pop it off is so nice. It's just really nice, as opposed to the Mavic 2 that you kind of got to wrestle it on and off. I'm really excited to use those more. I tried them out a little bit, but unfortunately, because it's been so cold and because we're in the darkest time of the year, most of the places I've gone to film, I haven't needed an ND filter. Now I will if I ever can get out there and it's during the middle of the day because of the snow. It's going to be really bright and really nice. Yeah. So, okay. Then the other thing that I wanted to address with this drone, because a lot of people or at least a lot of the reviewers, have said how they don't like the fact that the USB-C is sitting on top because dust, dirt, and stuff like that. So what I did, and that's true, it's a valid point, but you can buy these little silicone USB plugs, USB-C plugs from Amazon, and just like that, that little port is closed up. And if you have the dual battery charger, you don't need to access that port for really anything except for maybe future upgrades and stuff. So that's exciting. So I got those off Amazon. And actually, I'm going to use a few of those in my FPV drones too, because they get a lot of crap in them because I crash occasionally. And when I crash in the snow, everything gets packed with snow. So thankfully, most of the drone is coated with conformal coating, so it doesn't matter, but yeah, they do get wet. Anyway, all right. So, hey, Mr. 305, good to see you. Glad you're here. Okay, Drone Made Studios. You live in Sacramento, California. You're going up in the mountains. First time flying in a snowy area. Any advice? How do I store batteries? Flying the Mavic Air, and you've got 5 batteries. Awesome. So the best thing to do with batteries is keep them warm, because LiPo batteries, which is every drone battery, they really don't like to get cold. They are built to work, it's a chemical reaction, and they're built to work best at certain temperatures. So the best thing you can do is go down to a store and buy, and I think I've made a whole video about flying drones in the wintertime, but go down to the store, definitely have something like this, because your batteries for phones and stuff die faster. So something like this will help keep things charged, a battery, USB recharger, USB power bank. And then there's the little packets of hand foot warmer things that you can buy like at sporting goods stores that you usually shove in gloves or shoes to help keep yourself warm. If you get a few of those kinds of packets, you can throw them in the bag wherever you're keeping your batteries, a couple of them, wrap them in a washcloth or something so they're not directly contacting the batteries, and that will help you keep things warm. I do that a lot. I don't know if I want to say this now or not. I've been researching and looking into a way to make a small bag that could be inserted into a camera backpack or something like that that would have a heating system built into it. I'm just kind of playing around with the idea because I think it would be great. Yeah, that's all I want to say about that for now, but it would be a really nice thing for anybody who does stuff in the cold. It'd be really fantastic because it keeps things warm. So that is a really good way. And then if you want to take them, hey Billy, if you want to take them, if you want to keep them warm longer and easier, then put them in the little collapsible cooler bags, lunch bags that are like insulated lunch bags. You put all the batteries in there, put a couple of those hand pack warmers in there, and it keeps things warm really for a long time, unless you get in extremely cold temperatures. And there is, which I think I looked last time, everything was out of stock, but there is a bag made by Ethics, who's Mr. Steele. If you know who he is, he's an FPV drone pilot. But he makes a bag, or his company makes a bag by Ethics that has a built-in power, what does it have? Is it like a power distribution board? And it has a heater built in as well, but that requires the use of FPV drone batteries like a 4S, 5S, or 6S battery to work, which I do have it, and it works fantastically. It works really, really well, but if you don't have those type of batteries, that's why I'm looking into how to make one that would run off something like this, because lots of people have these. Not everybody flies FPV drones and has like 4S, 5S, 6S LiPo batteries. So I just don't know if there's one out there that can be USB powered that has enough oomph, the heater has enough oomph to really make a difference. That's why I got to play around it. So yeah. Hey, LC Productions, thank you. Hello. Hi from Alaska. Hopefully you all are doing well over in Italy. Thanks for tuning in. Any advice on a car power inverter to use to charge batteries on the go? You want to get one that definitely over like at least double. So if you look on your charger for your Mavic Air, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. It's not so bad, but if you look on your battery charger, it'll say how many watts it needs or how many amps it needs, and you can figure out the wattage from there, and then make sure you get one that is at least that many watts or more. Or if you have, well, I guess you don't because you're asking about an inverter. I was going to say if you have a power outlet in your car already, like some Toyotas do, then you have, easy way to do that. But I used to use one that I think was like 200 watts, a 200 watt inverter in the back of my 4Runner, and it worked really well actually, all the way up until I tried to plug my MacBook Pro charger into it, and then it was just like, no, this is just too much power. It was, I don't know what the deal was there. Anyway, yeah. LC Production, use hand warmer bags for the battery problem. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. If you just keep them warm, and they don't have to be super warm, but if you just, keep them warm-ish, 50, 60, 70 degrees, they will work much better. On that note, so this is important, and I'm doing a whole video about this, and I've asked a few other creators to send me their tips too, and a few already have, which is great. But when you're transitioning from warm environments to cold environments, it's not too big a deal. Condensation isn't as big a deal. But when you go from a cold environment back to a warm environment, condensation is a really big deal. And so the way to get around that is, I don't have it with me, but before you go from the cold environment back into the warm environment, put your stuff in a Ziploc bag. And then let it warm up in the warm environment inside the Ziploc bag. That'll keep the moisture from condensing onto the electronics itself. The other way to do that is to let it warm up extremely slowly. So there you go. You're welcome. Yeah. But especially with a drone like this, where these sensors, they have to be clean to see. I realized quickly that when I was carrying it, that I had to be very careful about where I put my gloves, because even the moisture coming off of my gloves from my hands would start to freeze on the drone because it was so cold. And frozen moisture in electronics is a terrible, terrible idea. So there's that. Thanks, John. John Callas? I'm probably butchering your name, and I'm really sorry. Hey, who FB? Who FPV? Thank you. I assume by homegrown. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I appreciate it. But oh wait, I think I know who that is. It's lots of fun. Like Dallas, Callis. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's exciting. When I started the beginning of this year, I was like, my New Year's resolution for last year, 2019, was I'm going to post one video a week. If it kills me, I'm going to post one video a week. And there were a few weeks where I posted 2, and then there was a couple of weeks where I didn't post any. But I did end up with 52 more videos on my channel at the end of the year. I didn't expect that I would go from, I think it was right around 3,000 subscribers at the beginning of the year to 10,000 right after the end of the year. I just didn't expect that. So, but it's really cool, and it's really, really awesome. And it's awesome. And the whole, I want to help people as much as I can. Like this, like the photography, videography, drone flying stuff is all stuff that, I really enjoy doing, but it's also something that I had to learn via a lot of trial and error. And so I'm hoping to save other people some of that pain. So, hey, Brian. Let's see. Absolutely, Drone Made Studios. You're welcome for the info. Hopefully it will help you. I know it will, but yeah, definitely. Who FPV. Got it. Gotcha. LC Productions, do I think the Insta361R Mavic 2 mount will cause GPS problems? It's going to be interesting to see because that mount kind of encapsulates the top and the bottom of the drone, but it mostly depends on where the camera, the metal from the camera sits. The plastic isn't a big deal. It's the metal from the camera. And so if it sits forward over the GPS sensor, like I had that problem when I did the Insta361 on my drone, or actually was it the Insta? Yeah, the Insta361 blocked GPS signal using the PGY tech. But when I did the GoPro, even getting it off of the drone, just the GoPro mount length, it didn't block the GPS signal at all. So it looks like it's spaced out quite a ways, so it might work okay still. Yeah. But it'll be interesting. I am excited about the Insta361R, or Insta360R, 1R. It is the 1R. Their 1-inch sensor. I want to put a better quality camera on my FPV drone than a GoPro, because a lot of things I do end up being in lower light situations, like the glacier ice cave and stuff. And I really want to get better footage in those situations. Well, the only way to do that is get a bigger sensor. And so I've been looking like the Sony RX02, because it has some stabilization, which is a 1-inch sensor. But then Insta361R with the 1-inch sensor is very, very exciting to look at. So yeah, we'll see. Marissa Anderton. Yeah, a lot of trial and error and a lot of self-critical thinking. Like I am the worst at looking at my stuff and just going, oh, that's just crap and I hate it. And then other people are like, it's amazing, but all I ever see are the flaws. And that's probably true for most creators. Like that is something else. So Harrison Family Vlogs, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thanks for being a part of the community here. I never got to put out a video saying what my favorite 3 Christmas songs were. I appreciate you tagging me in that. I guess I could do it now, right? Carol of the Bells is my absolute favorite Christmas song ever. I love that. Depends on the production of it too, but the Carol of the Bells in general is my favorite Christmas song ever. What's the other one? There's I can never remember the name of the band, but it's a very cool arrangement that's like bluegrass and rock combined, but it's Go Tell It on the Mountain, which is a really cool, it's a very southern, it's a very southern rock with bluegrass and country influences mixed in that I really like. And I can never remember the name of the band that did it, but that's my favorite version of that song. So there's 2. I need one more. I'll have to think about the one more. And yeah. It's Oh Holy Night, but it's by, Mariah Carey's version of Oh Holy Night is fantastic. I mean, but she's a crazy, insanely talented singer anyway, so it is what it is. So, thanks, Drone Serious. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you guys are awesome. Night Train, we are the worst critiques. It's so true, man. And all we do is look at our own stuff and just go, oh, this could have been better. Like when I FPV through the glacier ice cave, I just was not brave enough to dive those openings in the ceiling. I am going to before that cave disappears, because it's a very unique situation right now. Maybe. It depends. I think I got to do it really soon, because that cave is going to disappear in avalanches really fast in the spring. But yeah, I really wanted to dive those holes, but I just wasn't brave enough. And every time I look at it, I'm like, ugh. Or power loop them, that, because anyway, yeah. So it just was like, so one, if the drone crashed on the top up there, it's a dangerous area to try and get to recover it. And so that was definitely going through my head there. Anyway. LC Productions, watch your test of the anamorphic lens for the Mavic 2. Oh, cool. I will. I I didn't order that, but I'm very interested to see how it looks. It looks neat. I've seen a few people that have put their reviews out there and said the gimbal, it definitely is weight on the gimbal, but that it does work most of the time at least. But the footage I've seen looks great when it works at least. So there, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Night Train. And honestly, like I haven't been able to get that much stick time in. I put as much time in as I can on a simulator, but a simulator is what it is. And then as much time as I can in real life. I did get a little tiny whoop just for fun. My youngest son and I are racing around a gymnasium that I have access to when we can. But the problem is it's been so cold. It's beautiful because everything's covered in frost and frozen, and all the trees, all the branches, everything is covered in frost. So it's like a white winter wonderland everywhere you look. But it's bitterly cold. It was 20 below zero last night at my house. And yeah, anyway, so you need the Send It Quad with DJI. Yeah, exactly. And there's a guy up here, Billy, that he and I fly together when we get the chance. But if he's willing to hike with me again, because I'm not sure if he enjoyed the last hike he and I did together. But if he's willing to hike with me again, I want to take him up to that glacier ice cave because he's a much better FPV pilot than I am. He's had a lot more stick time than I have. But I would love to see what he can do in those caves because I think he would be pretty great at it. So let's see, heated underwear. In the end, it's money you're playing with. Yeah. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, and that, like, this summer, I've got some ideas. I'll be honest, the whole reason I started doing FPV drones is, like, there's, like, 6 specific shots that I want to get that I can't do with DJI or with the Skydio. And so this summer, I'll get the chance to do them. At the same time, it's still unnerving knowing that I'm sending, $400 to $500 worth of FPV drone parts with a $400 action camera on top of it into situations where if something goes wrong, I won't see it again, ever. And so, yeah, but I think the shots will be worth it. I just need more stick time to get a little more confidence, and I'm getting there. DJI should make a drone recovery drone. They'd kill it harder. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. So where is that photo? Yeah, let me see if I can show that. I did. So I am doing some night photography here this weekend. There's a gentleman up here from New York that has watched the YouTube channel for a while and reached out to me on Twitter. And so he and I are going to get together and go do some night photography, some astrophotography. But I think I can send this to myself and show you all. Yeah, here it is. So in preparation for doing that, oh, that's right, I got to turn this on. I can't. Dang it. Oh, wait, maybe I can. In preparation for doing that, I have been practicing my night photography to kind of figure out where my, the sweet spot of my settings are and stuff like that, because I don't do night photography all the time, very often. But I've been wanting to do more. And so I took a photo while I was up at my parents' over Christmas break. Let me see if I can do this. Sorry, I'm going to try and get this out here. Here we go. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can do it this way. Sorry, I know this is kind of weird, but I am trying to get this out here. There it is. And then if I do this and then adjust the size. Ooh. 1080, 1920. Close enough. So I'm going to, let me see if I can do this here. And I have to do this, add that. Okay, and then hopefully I can do this without blinking off myself. Almost there. Hang with me, everybody. There we go. Pretty close. Okay. Okay, so this is a photo. This is a photo I took at night on Christmas Day, the night of Christmas Day. And I didn't realize the aurora was there because it was really, really faint. And then just down in the center, lower third, you can see the top of Denali, which is the tallest mountain in North America. And then the brightest star you see is Venus. But yeah, it was really fun. I actually just sort of accidentally captured some really great shots up there at night. And even one of them was of my parents' house at night. But there was just a little bit of light in their windows. Of course, when you do night photography, everything ends up super bright because you're doing really long exposure and maybe a little higher ISO and stuff. But just enough light was coming through the windows that made it look like the house was really warm and inviting and the lights were on inside. They weren't. It was off, but it looked really, the picture turned out really great. I can't show you that one anyway. So Journeyman says heated underwear. Yeah, that stuff doesn't work out very well for me. I know they make like the heated vests and heated pants. And so what works the best for me, because when you're hiking, like you get hot, even though it's below zero, it's ridiculous. You get hot because you're bundled up. And then when you stop, of course, you get cold. So what I do is lots of layers, lots and lots and lots of layers. And then the outside layer is always like a windproof layer, but still breathable. And then below that is like a down layer. And then below that's like a fleece layer. And then like a regular layer, wool shirt stuff that stays warm when it's wet. And then like a base layer and stuff like that. It works really good. It just, you get like, even at 10 below zero, when I was hiking up to do the review of the Skydio drone up there, I started sweating because the down coat I have is so good. It just, man, it's hot. So, all right, let me get back to your questions and chatting. Anyway, you love the mix of the two, FPV and camera drones. Yeah, me too. I've really been enjoying that, and that's what I want to do more of. The problem is like carrying it with me to locations, which is also why I'm trying to pare down some of my other stuff so I have room for everything else I need to bring. Or I just have to break down and get a really gigantic backpack, but I'm trying not to do that. So Elsie, Skydio 2 is the very good evolution of the year you hope to import to Europe this year. It's an excellent drone. It's very unique at what it does. It definitely is not a drone for everybody, but if your main use is going to be filming you or people you are doing stuff with out and about in places, like it's phenomenal at that. It's just amazing. My biggest disappointment is that I got it during the winter, and it's been really difficult to go out and fly it because we have really short days, and then it's just been brutally cold. So I cannot wait for this spring and this summer to roll around when I'm doing a lot more of the outdoor type videos that are on my channel, when I do reviews and tutorials and stuff like that. And then because I'm going to be using that thing, that's the drone I'll be using. And then, of course, the FPV drone I'll be taking with me every time I possibly can. So thanks, Marissa. Appreciate that. AKA Throttle, it's been crazy cold. Been trying to get the Mavic Air out, but it needs to warm up. The shots would be amazing. Right? It has been insanely cold. The frost, so if you've never lived in a really cold environment, what happens is you have this nice, warm, moist winter air, warm being a very relative term, but it has a lot of moisture in it. And then if the temperature drops really fast and it gets super cold, all that moisture freezes onto whatever it's touching. So the trees, everything gets covered with this just really beautiful white looking frost. And they call it the hoarfrost. It's beautiful. But it has to be brutally, bitterly cold for it to do that really well. And it has to stay that way for a little bit. And you can't have any wind and stuff like that. And so it's just been insanely cold, but it is really beautiful. And you saw some of that frost in the Skydio review video in some of those shots of the trees and stuff. Let's see. Thanks, Journeyman. Thanks, John and Elsie. Combo FPV, we need snowshoes next time? Yes, apparently we do. So I'll warn you, if you go with me, that hike to the Glacier Ice Cave is a little further and you got to have ice crampons because that whole inside of I go through the cave from the bottom to the top. It's like a half mile. It's between a quarter mile and a half mile to the top. But the whole inside of it is covered in ice because the stream that flows through it has just been freezing and spreading and freezing and spreading. So it's cool, but it's a little freaky, but it's a great place to fly. So, and it's we'll say 2 miles. It's 2.5 miles. Might be more, but it's about 2.5 miles. Yeah. So, but definitely would love to go up there with you. Hopefully we'll get some warmer weather. Warm or not too warm, but warmer soon and nice still. We need snowshoes. Let's see. Absolutely, Kathy. Thanks for asking. Thanks for reminding me about it. I appreciate that. Brian, you promise you'll get those winter drone shots if it means you pack the extra gear out for you. Yeah. So, yeah. Like when I did the Skydio versus Mavic review, I was packing the Skydio and all its stuff, my Mavic and all its stuff, 3 batteries, remote, and stuff like that. And then my FPV drone, which means FPV drone, goggles, a whole battery bag full of batteries, the remote, and all of that stuff. I was packing 3 drones, all the batteries I had for those 3 drones, the remotes for all of those 3 drones, plus camera gear, plus a gimbal. It was stupid, ridiculous how much stuff I packed on that one. But I was like, it's a mile hike to get to that mine, and then I'm good. You're bringing multiple quads, and you're not to be trusted with my stuff. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. It made it. That's all that counts. It made it. And I know you can, like on the top of that cave, you can get up there and get to things, but it could be sketchy depending on where you are. So. I know, Brian. I know. So, on that note, like, what other questions, if you guys got other questions about the Skydio, let me know, because this is really just, I want to say thanks everybody for subscribing and watching the videos. It really blows me away how many people watch the videos that I put out there and how many of you like them. And apparently a few people that don't like them, but I think that's just par for the course on YouTube. And yeah, I really, really appreciate everybody who's joined the journey, joined the community, been part of this thing. It's been a ton of fun, and I can't wait to see what 2020 has in store. I'm working to where, I'm still doing 1 video a week, but I'm working to get to where I can do 2 videos a week. One to be like a review type video and one to be a tutorial type video. And so, I've been working hard to get the workflow for that down so that I can do it without like taking up every second of family time and, other times together to do that. But I think I'm just about there. I generally get up really early and work on this stuff early in the morning unless I'm out and about, which will be easier in the summer when the sun is up most of the time. So. Combo FPV, what's my take on ND filters for GoPro? It's not a Skydio question. No, but it's a relevant question. So GoPro does a pretty good job of making things look decent without the ND filters, but definitely if you want to get the smoothest footage, hey Paul, welcome. You made it last minute. I'm going for another 20 minutes or so. But if you want to get the smoothest looking footage, then ND filters are a must. Just because it slows down the frame rate and then, slows down the shutter speed and then gets you more blur, more natural motion blur in the in the frame. The places, it's not so big a deal until you get into areas where there's lots of detail. So like you're flying over or going over lots of little tiny pebbles and rocks that you can see all of that, or lots of little tiny branches and leaves. Because what you'll notice when that stuff is in motion on a digital camera, it does what they call moire effect, where you can kind of see it like it looks really odd. You see all these artifacts moving through the frame. Whereas when you put an ND filter on there to get your shutter speed down, it will smooth that out so it looks more natural and more normal, if that makes sense. But otherwise, yeah, you get these weird little, like, it looks like the ground is moving, sort of, or that stuff is moving. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, ND filters. Plus, you get the added benefit if you get the right ND filters, it helps give you an extra layer of protection on your lens. So welcome, Paul. I'm glad you made it. How those A7R4s coming along? So more of them. So if you didn't see this, I'll show that picture again just for fun, real quick, just because it's something different than my face. But that was me starting to mess around with my cameras for night photography, just messing around during Christmas time for fun. It was also like 10 below zero or 12 or 15 below zero there. So I didn't stay outside very long. I did one picture, and that was it. I did a couple, but they were short and sweet because I did not feel like standing out there. I wasn't dressed for it either, but, yeah, it was fun. But I'm going to try some Aurora. I'm going to try and get some Aurora photos if we ever get some good active Aurora. I keep looking for that. And then I'm going to be doing some night photography and some night photography. I just missed the big meteor shower that we had, which I knew about, but I just didn't get a chance to. So exactly, Elsie. So I'm going to go out to a couple of locations and we'll shoot it at night. And I want to do some light painting because there's some old stuff there that I want to use as a foreground. And then the only problem is right now the moon is pretty full, but it's also fairly low and it sets early, like around midnight. So I think we'll be okay there. But even with that, like a little bit of extra light in some of the locations will be really good because it'll help the mountains will really show up as the foreground, lower foreground of the star field and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fun. I was tempted to go see if maybe I can go down to that glacier ice cave and there's those holes in the ceiling and shoot up from the bottom up through those holes, because then you can also see a mountain peak just outside those holes. I thought that might be a kind of cool picture, but I don't know. We'll see. Haven't decided yet, but there is an app that I use called the Aurora Forecast, which right now is looking terrible, if you can see that. But if one of those gets up to a 5, 6, 7, or 8, then there's generally a really good chance of seeing some great aurora and to do some photos. So yeah. Vishal Purdue, any thoughts on the Hispan Xeno 2? I haven't looked into that a lot, but I mean, it looks okay. I just haven't, I don't know enough about it to really make a very good judgment call on what is good and bad about it. For all of you that saw the Autel Evo 2, which looks amazing. I did have somebody ask me if I was, interested in it. And I was until I saw the size of it. It is, the Mavic 2 is bigger than the Mavic 1, and that's bigger than the Mavic Air, which of course definitely bigger than the Mavic Mini. But the Autel Evo 2 is a fair bit larger than the Mavic 2 Pro. And that's a no-go for me. I can't go larger than the Mavic 2 Pro and still be able to carry stuff very easily. And so we'll see. I do like what Autel's doing though, and I'm really glad there's getting to be some more competition in the space. Assuming, at least for us Americans, that the FAA with the remote ID stuff doesn't just really destroy everything. And if you haven't gone to comment yet, you should. But do look at the Freedom Coalition for FPV, or some of those people have put out some really good points that you can go and not just comment like this is terrible and it sucks, but comment with some good, well-informed feedback saying it would be better if you did things this way, or, you know, this is a way of, yeah. So, because as it stands now, it's really going to shut down FPV flying, any sort of fun FPV flying, and it's really going to make it an issue for home-built drones, period, which is terrible because it destroys innovation, and it's dumb. That's my thoughts, my super official thoughts. I mean, there's a lot in there, but even for me up here, like if they go through, and I've seen it both ways where they're going to require, I haven't read through it all the way yet, but they're going to require internet connection, you know, so that you can broadcast all your stuff live, or you can't fly further than 400 feet. And then I've seen it where tier 1 is like, you can do it so long as the drone can broadcast what it needs to, but it doesn't necessarily have to have an internet connection. So I'm not sure which version of those things they're going to go with, but I was like, all of the places I go to fly, almost all of the places, the Hatcher's Pass, the Independence Mine, that has internet out there. I can get online up there, but everywhere else I go to fly has zero connectivity of any kind. And so, yeah. And I know it's a few years off, and I'm sure lots will happen between now and then. So, Aaron Olson, how long was the exposure on that pick? It was a hair too long. So I took it with the A7 III and the Tamron 17 to 28. And I think if I remember right, it's about 24 millimeters at 2.8. And the exposure, I think, was 30 seconds. But that's why the stars are a little blurry, is I had the exposure was just a little too long. If I had set it back to 20 seconds and maybe bump the ISO up another stop, I would have been fine. With the stars, they wouldn't have been blurry, and then it would have been sharper. But yeah, I mean, you might not be able to tell the stars are blurry here. But, and there's the whole 500 rule, you know, to make sure that the focal length of your lens divided by 500 gives you the maximum length you can expose for and stuff like that without blurring stars. So yeah, so when I go to do these night shoots, I'm gonna take my A7 III. I might see if I can grab an A7R III for fun, but I also want to try and time lapse because I would love a night sky time lapse. Would be so cool. I don't know if I'm willing to stay up there that long either, but we'll see. Yeah, LC Productions, the FPV racers, man, some of those people are insanely fast. They have such fast reaction times. It's crazy. Just ridiculously long, fast. It's crazy. Yeah. So if you know of anybody who will be selling this A6400 kit lens, 2 batteries, I'm probably going to put it on eBay, but I'll post it on Twitter and stuff first, see if anybody wants it. And yeah. Paul, too bad I couldn't get one of your A7R4s. Yeah. Hook a brother up, man. Come on. What's taking so long? I'll drive it really hard, but I'll trade you an A6400 for one. And you get a lens and 2 batteries. Just straight up trade, man. Yeah, let's do that. Now they have an A7R4 up here that I could rent, and I'm debating about doing it. But I've also seen and read that the low light, it has a filter, and so they say it eats stars. I don't know. But the other thing I want to do is rent, because I know I can rent the Sony 24 millimeter, which is apparently just a beautiful astro lens because it's super sharp and really great low light. So I'm going to be trying. Thanks, Billy. Well, I should say Combo FPV. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have fun. Stop texting me in the middle of my stream. You're distracting. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. You messaged me about the A6400. Okay, yeah. So if I could sell it not on eBay, I'd probably sell it for like, with the lens, the 2 batteries, I don't know, like $750 shipped, probably, is what I'm thinking. It's really barely been used. And it comes with the 2 different small rig things, and it have all the original box and all the original materials for it. I mean, and then this lens, honestly, this lens is not in the best shape. Like, it's been used. It works. It's not in the best shape. And then these 2 batteries, but yeah. So something like that, probably 750. Let's see. No, I must have missed it. Oh, did we talk about the Insta360R on the Mavic Pro? Get some FPV footage look? Yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious about that. My problem with DJI drones, or the camera stabilized drones, is not that you can't get an FPV look, because you can, but it's the physical flying of it that it's much more difficult to get the same look. Even though you do the like tilting and stuff in post, it's really hard to fake FPV footage. It is really difficult. And then the proximity, like when you're doing an FPV drone, the fact that you can fly so close to stuff. Harrison, Family Vlogs, said pity. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's just the fact that because you're so keyed in on how you're flying, you can really do a lot with much closer proximity to stuff than you can with a camera drone. At least that's been my experience so far. So, Paul, why am I selling it? Yes, I did get the A6600 because I was explaining earlier, like I really needed a little bit better battery life, and then having the same battery between my A7 III and the A6600 is good. And not that the battery life on this is horrible. It's really not. It's pretty good. But in the cold, like any battery suffers tremendously in the cold. And so that's where I really noticed. I only took that in the cold really once. And then most of the time it's been here in the studio, or I've taken it to shoot a couple of talking head interviews with people just for a B camera angle. And it works fantastic. But yeah, so, and I am, by the way, I'm really excited about the Sirui, or whatever, however you say, Sirui anamorphic lens. I jumped on the Indiegogo, and should be coming next month sometime. I'm really excited to shoot with that. I love anamorphic. In one way, I think it's totally worthless and useless if all you're doing is YouTube videos. But the anamorphic look is so good. So anyway, you need a third camera. I don't know if you need a third camera. You should give one of your or maybe both of your kids some other cameras so you can get like 3 angles to throw in your edits. Get their perspectives too. It's funny though, watching you do your stuff, and then I've seen the same looks on my kids' faces occasionally, where it's just like, oh, Dad, come on. It's like exactly the same. So Journey with the Invisible Drone will be so good. Yeah, that aspect of it, I do think that is a really killer thing, the fact that the drone disappears. And I would like to try that, because flying through some of these areas, I've been wanting to do more 360 VR stuff, but I'm never happy with the quality that I can get my hands on without, I can't spend $30,000 on a pro level VR rig. But I've reached out to a couple of companies, and a few of them we've been talking back and forth about the potential of doing like a pro level loaner unit for a couple of weeks. But I need to do it in the summer. That's really the best time that I could do it. But it would be cool to fly through some of these areas that I go and do it in 360 VR, so you could sit there with a headset on and just like feel like you're there. It'd be so cool. So Harrison Bach, you have a 6600 and the A6400. You're using your A6400 as a webcam mostly for lives. Use a secondary for interviews. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. You need a third camera for a 3-camera shoot. I thought about keeping this for that, but I can't justify it yet with the type of work I'm doing. I only need 2. I really only do. And if I'm going to do any B-roll or anything, behind the scenes stuff, I'll use my phone or the Osmo Action, because I just can't can't justify that. And just, like I couldn't justify a cinema camera. Somebody was telling me I should get a cinema camera, but I can't justify it. At least not yet. Maybe someday down the road. What? Yes, you should. Absolutely, you should. Did you check your account yet? And you know how to reach out to me and hit me up on Twitter. So LC Productions, you can't wait for the 50mm anamorphic. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Everything I've seen looks amazing. The only thing I'm going to have to do is get the focus motor for my Weeble S, because I don't have a focus motor for it. I have all the other stuff, and I got the image transmission system and the remote. Shiyun sent that to me to do some testing and put a review out, which will be coming shortly. And it's really cool. I love the image transmission system that Shiyun came out with. It's so fantastic. Even without the drone, the thing is awesome and worth every bit of it. Let's see, Canadian Drone Hub. Hey, welcome. Hopefully you're warmer than we are, but you might not be, depending on where you are and depending on the weather. I don't know why everybody's texting me. Oh, that's why he's texting me. Thank you, Brian. It's just distracting me as we go here. I'm going to get back on that. There we go. So, yeah, that was it. So be watching. I still have a few more minutes, but be watching, because I'll be giving away the Moza Aircrofts 2 in an upcoming, or doing a giveaway with the Moza Aircrofts 2, the whole, what is this? This is the, I don't know. This is like the whole kit and caboodle, though. Focus motor, everything. Gonna be giving this away, or doing a giveaway in an upcoming video soon. And then be doing a review of the Freewell ND filters for the Skydio 2. I will say I got some of Freewell's really early on filters, and their quality has gone up. In fact, I'm working on this is the Freewell variable ND, which is like $100 or something, with a magnetic lens cap, which is really cool. And I've been really impressed. It's really impressive. So thank you, Freewell. I bought the variable ND, but this they sent me, which I really appreciate. So that'll be coming soon. And then I'm gonna do a general accessories video for Skydio 2 too. Just a few of them. The ones like I think it's really handy, like the little silicone plugs for USB-C and the power delivery USB charger. That's another reason I'm really excited about it, is I only have to carry 2 batteries, but I can have more juice. It's gonna be awesome when I go out and do these things. So, because never ever have I, even with 3 or 4 Mavic 2 Pro batteries, have I had enough batteries to do everything I want to do. I have to be very conservative when I go out and about. It's Quebec, snowing and cold. Well, it's not snowing here, but it has been brutally cold. I don't know exactly what we'd be in Celsius, but we'd definitely be like the -20 range Celsius, as well as it's been -20 Fahrenheit too. Let's see what Google tells me. Wow, Google's not going to tell me anything. All right. 28, -30 Celsius. That's about what it's been here at night. -30. -25-ish. Yeah, so it's been very cold. Beautiful frost on the trees, but just brutally cold. Marissa Anderton, you're done with the negative double degrees here. Oh, you and me both. I was talking with Keith, who designed this hat, this logo, which I love. I was talking with him, and we were both just like, okay, we're done with the cold. It could move on now. Just, get Mark Lasby, get Amazon Australia links. You purchase 2 Zine quick releases for your, actually, I need to sign up with the Amazon affiliate, because I started using Genius Links, which will basically automatically direct you to wherever you are in the world. And Australia, there's a couple that I haven't been able to sign up with yet. Australia's one, and then there's a couple of the European countries I'm working on too. Germany Germany, Amazon Germany has been the most difficult thing to sign up for because anyway, it's not worth going into, but man, are they thorough on checking everything. Wow. And I'm not surprised, but yeah, I'll see very good products. Yeah, Freewell is putting out some fantastic stuff. And I like the fact that it's less expensive than competing brands like Polar Pro. You still get like 95, 99% as good of a product. There might be a few things that aren't quite as good, but the image quality is great. And then and in some cases, actually, I think it's a little better. But you're not paying that premium price. So I'm kind of been converted since they sent me the Skydio 2 filters, and then I got the variable ND. It's kind of converting. So actually, Paul, did you need another variable ND? Who needed a variable ND? Somebody needed a variable ND on my channel. I don't remember who it was. If you're here watching the live stream, comment, let me know, because I have one. It's Tiffin or Hoya. I don't remember who, but I might do that as a giveaway here too. So minus 16 Celsius there. Oh wow. Very windy, but used to it now. Yeah, thankfully we haven't had wind. Paul, you're in Florida. It's 75. Shush. Mike. Oh, Mike, sorry. The only thing I have is 67. I wish I had a 77. How you enjoying the cold out there in your part of the world? I think I'm 90% sure I know what you do, and if I'm right, I'm a little jealous because the places you get to go, but I also don't envy you for going out in some of the temperatures you have to go out into, because dear Lord. But if you do what I think you do, I use the stuff you work on almost every day. Actually, probably multiple times every day, because it's fantastic. If you do what I think you do. You use them on your 24 millimeter 1.4 Mark? Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm going to try out the 24 millimeter 1.4 when I do some night shooting here this weekend. I'm going to rent it and try it out because I've heard great things about that lens. I really want to try it out. So I'm going to do that and rent either the A7R4 or the A7R3 just to get the extra resolution because it's fun. And then I'll shoot with an A7 III and maybe try and do some video with the A6600. It'll be dark, but it'll be fun and it'll be cold. 67 Tamron. Nice. I'm right, Mike? Oh, yeah. Nice. Well, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it because, man, I use those things all the time when I'm going to go somewhere or think about going somewhere and I want to know what's happening there. It's, yeah. I check a few locations daily just to see what the weather's doing in those places. So I appreciate it. And I'm a little jealous because you get to go to some really cool locations. Anyway, you have a Tamron also, 67? All right. Well, let's see. I think you and I are connected on other social media, but I'm pretty sure you know how to get a hold of me. If you do, let me know. I'll be out in the valley. I'll be out that way next week if you want to meet up. And I could, hand it off to you, whatever. Really bad places too. Yeah, I've seen a few of your pictures. Man, I've seen a few of your pictures and I'm like, oh, wow, that looks interesting, Mike. Yeah, but you've also captured some beautiful footage, man. Your fall footage from last year with your Mavic 2, especially out there by Lion's Head or Sheep Mountain. Jeez, that was some fantastic shots. So Ellie, we need you to send us 10 degrees from where you are, and then Paul, you can send us 20 degrees from where you are, and we'll be set because that'll put us back above zero. Maybe not quite above freezing yet, which is fine. I don't necessarily want to be above freezing, but I would like to be above zero. I'd like to be back in the teens. Would be great. It makes going outside and doing things really, really easy. Mike, which Tamron do you have? Which one did you end up getting? I'm curious. The variable ND filters, the flip filters mount. Oh, that's cool, Elsie. Yeah, I looked at that. The only reason I do the variable ND most of the time is because of the video. I'm doing so much video. I do have a couple of fixed, like an ND16. I have an ND8, ND16. I want to get an ND64 and then maybe something even higher to do some really, really long exposure during the day and get lots of motion blur, but I haven't done that yet, so I need to. And I want to go down on the south side, Turnagain Arm, and shoot the highway going up Turnagain Arm from up on one of the mountain sides and see if I can get the car lights, tail lights and headlights on Turnagain Arm Road alongside the ocean there. But I got to wait for better reflection in the water, which is currently all frozen. So drone laws are getting crazy. Yeah, I'm not super psyched about all of the things they proposed in remote ID. I'm totally for remote ID. I think it'll make things a lot simpler and a lot easier, especially for commercial drone pilots. But I think a lot of the ways they're proposing to go about it right now is going to be pretty detrimental to a lot of things. And I get some of their facts and figures that they're not accounting for. Like the whole 95% or whatever it was being able to be upgraded via firmware. I don't think they have very accurate numbers on how many drones out there are homemade. Like I have two built drones, professionally built drones by companies, and I have 4 homemade built drones. So if I'm a typical drone owner, which I would say maybe I'm on the conservative side, then that's going to be way out of whack, some of those figures anyway. So 28 to 75. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love the 28 to 75. It's a great lens still. But yeah, anybody who's thinking about it, I would highly encourage anybody that wants to do stuff with drones, get your Part 107, even if you're not going to do commercial stuff with it, because right now it gives you more flexibility in how you can operate and where you can operate in some cases. In some cases it's actually a little less flexibility, but it really gives you a great understanding of everything that, the airspace around you and the areas you operate, you look at in a different way because you understand a lot more of what's going on that the general public just isn't aware of, which is great if you do a good job of getting your Part 107 and study well. But yeah, it's great. So drone laws in are you getting stricter? Time to get a commercial license? Yeah, I saw some of that, man. You guys are getting really strict. I hope, Mark, I don't know how close you are to the fires that are going on down there, but I sure hope you guys get those tied down real soon, because we dealt with that last summer. All the wildfires, it was crazy. The smoke and the damage that was being done was insane, and it's just not any fun. And I totally understand that. Paul, you're trying to understand how wind affects planes and such. It's crazy. Wind does affect planes. It does quite a bit. And center of gravity, all that stuff. It's funny because center of gravity doesn't apply so much to drones that are like built unless you start adding stuff to them. But if you're doing some of the bigger cinema drones where you're putting on big payloads, big cinema cameras and stuff, then center of gravity is an important thing to understand. Anyway. So, thank you all for being part of this community. Thank you all for being subscribers to this channel. I really appreciate it, and hanging out with me here on the live stream. I have a blast. I don't really have a huge agenda for these live streams other than answering questions if you got them, hanging out, talking about whatever the topic of the day is. Like in this case, the Insta361R, which is very exciting. I can't wait to see what the pricing is going to be on that. Especially the 1-inch sensor version, because I'd love to throw that on top of my FPV drone. And then some of the other stuff that's coming out, the Autel drones. I'm curious to see what DJI is going to release this year. I'm sure it's going to be pretty boss, being that they've got some pretty stiff competition from other companies now, which is great. Very, very curious to see what they're going to come out with. And so question before I leave real quick. When I do the night photography, would you all be interested in seeing a tutorial or like a walkthrough, I guess be more of a vlog style maybe, of doing the night photography and some of the stuff? I am working on a wintertime photography, doing stuff in cold weather, because there's some things you've got to do very differently to get the proper exposure and stuff like that. But yeah, the winter photography, not the photography necessarily, but just general winter photography, videography, stuff like that. That'd be I'll do it and put it out there. So, oh, thanks, Marissa. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, it's been exciting. This last year has been a blast. And I so appreciate you all coming along with me on the ride, as it's been a lot of fun. And can't wait to see what 2020 has in store, both from a technology that we get access to point, and then from the standpoint of seeing what happens with this channel and this community. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you all for hanging out tonight, or this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are. Mark, stay safe. Yeah, I've been thinking about you guys a lot. I got quite a few friends in Australia, and so stay safe, man. Definitely stay safe. But thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Keep an eye on the videos for the giveaways that are coming up. I have selected a winner for the binaural audio recording rig, so I'll be getting in touch with you about that shortly, and figuring out shipping plans and stuff like that. And then the giveaway for the Moza Aircross 2 will be coming up. Mike, you know how to get a hold of me. We'll see if we can meet face-to-face this coming week. I mean, I'm out to the valley a ton, but that area a ton anyway. So, but if you want it, I can't remember if it's a Hoya or a Tiffin, but it's a decent ND filter. I won't have any use for it now. And then if you know anybody who wants a A6400 with a kit lens and a few extra batteries, I've got one I'll be putting up for sale. Yeah, thank you all. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats and the kind words. We'll be live streaming again the same time, same place next week. Until then, be a video or two that will come out. And look forward to hearing what you all have to say. So take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Cheers. Talk to you again soon.